Alright, what's up guys? My name is Gray. Welcome to another Guild Wars video. Today's video is going to be about something that I've been putting off for years. And it's something people have been asking me about for years in the comments and on my streams. Such as, hello, how do you move the UI around? I didn't know you could do that. Or, Yoon, how do you have your UI like this? No, I mean like, how do you sleep at night with your UI like this? So, today I'm going to be answering those questions, going over the three main aspects of my UI. And those are placement of the UI, uMod, or incorrectly referred to as TexMod, and ToolBox. And for those of you with concerns about the legality of these tools and are wondering, will this get me banned? I will link to the wiki page of ArenaNet employees' official responses to this question over the years in the description. So to summarize, their stance is if an add-on gives a player an advantage over another player, or if an account is damaged or compromised due to these tools, then support cannot help. But as a general rule of thumb, we don't mind if you do things to make your own playing experience more fun. Personally, I started using TexMod in 2007 or 2008 for cartography, and ToolBox around 2016. And I've never felt like my account would be the target of any suspension or bans. Now, there was a ban wave related to ToolBox around 2021 that stemmed from a little Beach Boy mass troll reporting players for using ToolBox. I do believe most of those accounts were banned, and a few of them happened live on people's streams, so it turned into a big messy situation. However, the end result of this was more people actually end up being unbanned from this ban wave than were initially banned. Because a lot of people that had been banned over the past several previous years actually got unbanned as well. And Steven CW, the current dev for Guild Wars, put out a public statement on the Reddit clarifying that the use of ToolBox would no longer result in a blanket ban. If you cheat using ToolBox, then you will be banned. And going forward, ToolBox devs would work with Steven to okay ToolBox features. And my rule of thumb for years was never have ToolBox do an action for me that I did not input myself. Now, years ago, prior to 2022, there were things in ToolBox that were absolutely cheaty, and you could do things that you should not have been able to do. But between 2022 and 2024, ToolBox scaled back the suspect features and actually removed a lot of the ones that were viewed as cheating. And in late 2024, Steven made a back-end compiler change to the game engine, unrelated to ToolBox, that actually broke all ToolBox versions before 6.25. So the old versions of ToolBox no longer even function. And that means at the current time, there's realistically no risk in using ToolBox. Alright, so the first aspect of my UI I want to go over is the placement of my default UI. How it's like this and why it's like this. So if it's been a while since you played the game, or if you've always been fine with the default UI placement, which in that case, please see a doctor, you need help. Otherwise, you may have forgotten or entirely not even known that you can just move the UI around. I always think it's funny when people ask me in the streams how my UI is like this, because they don't even know you can move the UI. I think it may be that a lot of other MMOs might not let you customize the game as much as Guild Wars. People don't even think about it. I don't really know. There are some other minor options added in recent years under the General tab as well that affect UI. Like whether or not to show skill descriptions whenever you hover over skills. This one. Because I actually like hiding the skill descriptions, because out in explorable areas, I don't need the popping up every time I hover over my skill bar. The other one is show collapsed inventory bag view, which basically turns your F9 inventory, which this is my F9 inventory in the bottom left. Normally it's oriented like the normal inventory. But with show collapsed inventory bag view, you can remove the bag titles, like bag and belt pouch and backpack and stuff. You can just turn that off and have it look like just one big giant inventory. And then show item rarity border, which just adds like a colored border for the like gold. It adds a gold border. Green, it adds a green border. Red, it adds a red border. It's just a nice little visual change. Now, as for the reason why my UI looks like this, it's kind of a mix between how I've had my UIs set up in other games, a slight bit of aging of the eyes and wrist joints, and the fact that my screen is so freaking wide because I'm on an ultra wide. Back in 2017, when I started playing Black Desert Online, it hurts to even say that phrase. My UI placement in that game quickly morphed around an efficiency mindset, because the PvP scene at BDO early on was hardcore, and the more info you could obtain quicker in large-scale PvP, the more prepared you could be for fights. So I started placing UI elements closer to the center of the screen to see at a quicker glance which skills were off cooldown, what buffs players had, and to gain info from who's on the minimap. That and a mix of poor vision and age also made it make more sense to have these closer, so I wouldn't have to strain my eyes so much. And playing on an ultra wide multiplies that issue. And the reason why I have a stacked skill bar was both for efficiency reasons, to not have the first and last skills super far away from each other, and my habit of skill clicking, which in recent years with nice keyboards I've started pressing 5 through 8 more, but I still very frequently click skills, and having them closer together like this is more efficient and less strain on the wrist. And I thought having my HP bar and MP bars on the top and bottom made a nice, it turns it into like a big skill bar burger. Okay, on to aspect number 2, and that's going to be uMod. The TLDR of TexMod versus uMod is, do not use TexMod. Use uMod or GWLauncher. There is no reason to use TexMod ever. There are only reasons why not to use TexMod. I think this whole people calling uMod TexMod thing is just a natural word bias from the past terminology, since TexMod is what it was called back in the day, and uMod is basically the same thing. So people still call it TexMod, but they mean uMod. I hope so. The reason why you don't want to use TexMod is that the more textures you have loaded from mods, the higher likelihood that you will get visual glitches when loading into zones and alt-tabbing in and out of the game. Some of these visual glitches are comical at first. One example is if you're running a mod that modifies the maps, like the cartography mod. A lot of the time, instead of things, objects, NPCs, or players displaying shadows, they will display a map texture as a shadow. Like there will just be a map under your character walking around instead of a shadow. Another visual glitch will be when you load into a zone, your screen is just completely black. Like it's pitch black, you can't see anything. You can easily fix this by minimizing the game and opening it back up, but that only re-rolls your visual glitch. Your screen may still be entirely black when you tab back in. It may be 100% white, or now every terrain surface is covered in a purple film of grape jam. So use uMod, don't use TexMod. It was made by the same person. It's TexMod without the bugs. uMod is a universal modding program, hence the name. So it was intended to be used with a lot of other games as well. And the latest version of uMod that is compatible with Guild Wars is uMod _v1 _r44 from 2012. Any of the newer versions might work with Guild Wars, but they may not load any mods or launch the game consistently. The only bug I've experienced with uMod is when launching uMod, sometimes, very rarely, uMod likes to open up on my 37th monitor at a resolution of 44,000 by 25,000. Now, I do run a lot of monitors. I am up to 4 these days. But that sure is nowhere near where uMod just opened. The most simple way to fix this, if this happens, is to right-click the uMod application on your taskbar, click Move, then move your mouse onto the screen where you want uMod to be without clicking until you get it, until you get it there. Then right-click uMod again on the taskbar and choose Maximize. Then you can resize the uMod window. I'm on Linux now, and I've never actually experienced this rogue behavior, so I think that's just a Windows thing. When you first load up uMod, it's going to be a mostly blank application. There are really only two things here you need to know about. The main tab up in the top left corner, and the open texture package button in the bottom left corner. The main tab is going to be where you launch your game from every time. You click on main, then choose the top option, start a game through uMod. Your first time is just going to be a blank window, so you'll need to click select a game to start and path to where your Guild Wars is installed to. If Guild Wars is installed in your program files, I highly recommend moving it literally anywhere else. You can put it in your documents or a random game folder. Guild Wars is pretty portable, so moving it doesn't cause issues except for some super specific cases with the direct song pack or 3D sound mod. In order to add mods and save a profile in uMod, you will have to have the game already running. And I recommend keeping all your TPF mod files in a folder in the location where you installed uMod. So this is where I have my uMod installed to, and then my plugins are just in the uMod folder that I have it installed to. I don't actually run all these, and I'll kind of show why later. So once you have the game running and want to load a mod, you pull up uMod and click Open Texture Package. And I have all mine located in the plugins folder where uMod is installed to. So if I want to add one, just double click it, boom, adds it. And then in order to get, like, once you first add it, it's not going to add it to your game. You have to have it checked and then click update. And that will add it on the fly to your game. So once you've got your mods loaded, you will not want to close uMod until you save a template so that uMod loads this every time you launch. You do that under the main tab, and then save template as. And then you just want to name this whatever, and then click save. And then let's add one more plugin just for demonstration purposes. Or once you kind of add some more mods to the list and you want to save it, you click save template. So you just update the template. And you cannot skip this next step. You have to click set template as default. So it always loads automatically whenever you launch uMod and the game. And then, you want to add some more, you just, you add a couple more and then click save template. And then now it will always automatically load this template because this is the default template. There is a reason why you would want to change the order of your mods. So in order to change the order of your mods, there's these three buttons here, up, down, and X. So up just changes the order around, down just moves it down, and then X gets rid of the mod. So I'll just add I'll add a couple more HD skills. There we go. Okay. So there is a reason why you would want to change the order of your mods. It's not just a visual list. The game loads the list in ascending order, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to use, let's see, where's it at? Looking for the where's it at? Oh, there it is. The running mod and cartography made easy. So if you want to run, for example, the running mod and cartography mod made easy mod at the same time, you would have to put the running mod above the cartography mod in order to see both. I normally don't run either of these unless I'm actually mapping or forget where to run when I need them sometime, but I'll kind of show you why. So if I put the running mod below cartography made easy, update it, and then go to the map, it doesn't really, it doesn't, the running mod doesn't load because cartography made easy is overriding it. So if you want the running mod and cartography made easy to display at the same time, you would have to put the running mod above borderless cartography. And now both of them load. Well, kind of. There's still going to be some graphical glitches if you want to run like multiple map texture mods at the same time. But yeah, this is an example of why you would want to do that. All right, my favorite mods are 50 to 90% marks, which add a little vertical indicator lines on health bars that show exactly where 90 and 50% are, which is super helpful for a lot of skills. Critical hit, and all it does is it adds like a cool little critical hit texture replacer for when you land a critical hit. Improved pets, which I don't actually use very often. Like I use it all the time. I have it on. But hey, anything that improves the textures to the point of where I don't notice that it looks like dog water swamp molasses. High-res skill icons, HD dervish skills, and HD PvE skills. I cannot play the game without these. If uMod ever broke and I couldn't run the game with HD skills, I would probably take a super long break. Because on modern super high resolutions, my god, do these old skill textures look bad. Like, I don't even see the low-res skills as, like, an endearing old-school-esque type thing. They just look bad. And it also changes a few skill arts to what they looked like during the beta as well. So that's, you know, that's a nice little change. I do have some map mods for Urgoz, Deep, Visual Woe, and the Underworld. But I never go there really to use them. They are super useful, though, if you happen to pop in one of the places and you don't really know where to go. And kind of the same thing for the in-game mission map and running mods as well. I played the game for so many thousands of hours, I never really need to load these, but they are a super powerful tool. A must-have for anyone going for Guam is borderless cartography made easy. Which this tool, oh my god, yeah. If you're only going for one Guam and you want to do like a pure Guam, then yeah, sure, you know, just don't use cartography made easy. Well, for factions and Nightfall, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Prophecies, it's really easy because there's like 10% extra in prophecies. But as someone who has 10 plus Guams, I've used this one a ton. And you'll also want to download the ship icon fix for it as well, which just adds the little ship icon back instead of a textureless square box whenever you zoom in and out while you're using cartography mod. All right, and now on to my absolute cannot play the game without, refuse to play the game without mod, minimalist UI. As much as I love the default UI and its early 2000s style and 360p res glory, I can only play so many thousands of hours with it on. Minimalist UI to me, compared to the other UI mods available, is just super clean. Very modern and effective, and isn't tacky. Like some of the other UI mods out there add these little artistic features that are ultra dated, and some are obviously inspired by other early 2000s games that don't really fit into Guild Wars 1. Like, they're neat, and worth trying out to see which one you like the best, but for me it was Minimalist UI for its simplicity and cleanliness. Alright, and finally, my last mod is the Realm of Torment new map mod. Changes it from this, which is, you know, this is the normal one, to this one where you can actually tell the different outposts and areas apart, because I know I could never remember which mission was the Gate of Pain or Gate of Madness just by the outpost title. Like, which one was the red one? Is it Gate of Pain or Gate of Madness? I could never ever remember. And so this one, I mean, you can clearly tell. Now you have a visual representation of which ones they actually are. Okay, I can't move on just yet. I do want to go over why I don't use GWLauncher. If you're not aware, GWLauncher is a crazy cool program that combines multi-launcher, uMod, and ToolBox all in one, and removes the 1 to 2 second freeze at the end of loading screens by baking your uMod files into your game session. I don't use GWLauncher because you cannot turn on or off and load mods while the game is running. As much as I'm working on a Guam character, doing Zacian stuff on another, a random quest here and there, and back to Guaming a different character all in the same play session, being able to turn on and off mods freely on the fly is an invaluable feature. And I will happily pay the loading freeze as a price. Like the, let's see, I can probably show it to you. Yeah, the little loading freeze happens like right here. Which actually, sometimes it's better than others. Like normally it will hitch right here when loading. Which this might just be a thing on Linux. I know on Windows it was super consistent. There's always typically like a 1 to 2 second freeze whenever you load into a zone. Let me go to Great Temple of Balthazar, see if it'll do it. Yeah, like this. That. It kind of hitched there for a second. You don't really get that freeze on GWLauncher. But if you never need to change your mods, though, then try out GWLauncher. And lastly, ToolBox. Ooh, spooky. Did I scare you? Don't worry. ToolBox is perfectly fun to use and has been okayed by Steven CW, our final developer. I could make a whole hour-long video going over ToolBox and its insane quality of life features, like fast traveling to specific outposts. Let's see, I want to go to Amnoon Oasis. Just straight there. Or the ability to automatically open your Sunlight chest every time you enter an outpost. Or how it can mass ID and salvage items. And the ability to move items between storages with a control click. Like, oh my god, that saves my carpal tunnel so much. Oh my god. And the ability to save entire team builds and be able to load them in one click. Yeah, I won't even mention those things. Not even once. For this video, I'm only going to show how I use ToolBox to enhance my UI experience. Now, the most notable UI element ToolBox adds for me is my minimap. Which it doesn't actually add the minimap. I actually have the ToolBox minimap hidden. But I love the customizable rings and icons on the minimap. Minimalist UI actually does add a ring on the minimap for spirit range, but it's just it's dimly lit in low resolution. It's a barely visible gray circle. With ToolBox, you can color each range ring. So I have my spirit range in green, my casting range in a light blue, and my aggro range in red. Now, by default, your ToolBox minimap probably won't be overlaid on top of your Guild Wars compass, but it's easy. Yeah, it's just an easy one-click thing. You just go under minimap and then snap to compass. Which actually, where did it went right here for some reason. Yeah, I like having mine attached to the Guild Wars compass. Now, a lot of people like having the tactical information the ToolBox minimap provides, as well as the default minimap, or no Guild Wars minimap at all. Yeah, you could even go full ARPG mode and overlay the ToolBox compass in the center of your screen. I prefer the artistic and natural visuals of the default minimap, so I turn off my ToolBox terrain and ally NPCs entirely. ToolBox also lets you target allies, foes, and objects from your minimap. So if you hold down Control, you can then click on different things on the minimap and target it. And even though I have mine hidden, I can still click on them using the default game visual icons. Like I have the let's see, what is it under? Is it under symbols? No, it's under agent colors. Yeah, I have my ally ones hidden, which it's kind of hard to see. I don't prefer visually the toolbox icons on the minimap. I like the minimalist UI ones. So I turn the visibility of the toolbox ones off, but they're still on, so I can still click them. There are tons of other little quality of life and visual changes in Toolbox that are super helpful. But for my UI, the one that stands out most is the minimap. And that's it, folks. Damn, that was a lot. That was a whole thesis. I went to college for 7.5 years and never wrote anything this long. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or PM me in game at uMod, and I'll reply if I'm not busy. I really do enjoy engaging in UI customization discussions. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And out.